Today is day 3 of my, or it's either day 3 or day 4 of my recorded martial arts training. And so I will start now by stretching middle splits. I just saw like a big leaf on the ground. I thought it was some sort of big brown moth, and it really interested me for a second because, I'm really interested in these sort of natural subjects like nature and animals, that sort of stuff. Yeah, you see, it looks really similar to like a big brown moth that you would see hidden on a tree or something. I gotta point this a little downwards so you can see what is going on. So, I shall start off with straight kicks as a warm-up. And just doing it as slow as possible really gets all the muscles and working, because if you do it too fast, the momentum is actually doing most of the work rather than the muscles which are supposed to slowly contract and pull your leg up. And also I realized that when you do it too fast, you can very well learn a lot of bad habits which you don't want to do. And so, we're not kids or anymore, So kids, they can get away with it doing fast because they still learn much faster than we do as adults. And adults, if we do it fast, we learn the wrong technique and we continue learning it like that, it's going to be so much harder to correct, rather than kids who learn it so fast they can always break bad habits. it's really just activating the correct muscles to deliver the kick straight up instead of it wobbling to the side or to the side. That can be for a different kick. Gotta learn how to smile more. Straight. Or I don't know, maybe I should just work on the straight kick for a little more and then go into the jumping straight kick. Right now, if I just go on to the jumping straight kick without mastering the straight kick, it's like a baby trying to walk before it even knows how to crawl. Straight up, straight up, straight up. Straight up. Now, I think I'm gonna work on straight punches because my hands are a little cold.
诶。阿红啊，哦，你伫遮哦，啊，你要把这个门关起来，那蚊子跑进来啊，弄别的椅子啦。
我等一下，好吗？
啊，但是你这样子的话不行啦，那个蚊子一直飞进来。
不会啦。
晚上阿妈都被叮了，你看。
我现在忙了。
那你要不要再弄别的？你这样子不行啊！阿红儿，红哎，听阿妈的话，赶快的。
谁说啊？
啊？
谁那样子说我凶？
什么？
谁说我凶？
阿妈是不是蚊子？
阿妈，我现在忙。
我知道你忙。阿妈知道你忙，可是那个蚊子都……
阿妈，你先让我弄我的东西，然后你等一下回来，可以吗？Just my grandma bothering me. 阿妈，我现在忙，你回来等一下。
最好把东西放好，不要弄得乱，太乱了。太乱了，那蚊子跑进来，
Do you want me to explain it to you? Because I like it a little darker when I'm doing my thing. But I need to plug it in so I can charge my computer. So what chair am I supposed to use?
这是 outside 的 chair，跟我拿进。我这边做 chair 可以买 very expensive chair。
You're on camera right now, by the way.
I really don't care， 这是我的 house。That's okay. I'm just telling you what's the right thing。不然的话你可以 ask Red，
Okay.
你舒服 you don't want to send your book, you cannot pass or whatever, that's your problem.
What does that have to do with what's happening right now?
Yeah, because I want you to follow what the house rules are. I mean, I'm on the camera. I like to tell the whole world what the house rules are.
Okay, you want to tell the whole world? Go ahead.
Exactly. Okay? It's fine. I really don't care who you're speaking with. Every house has a house rule. Whoever's listening over there, they must have house rules too. Whoever they live with. Am I correct or am I wrong?
There's no problem with taking the chair in, but you started saying other things.
I do not want to have house chair. You have ruined a couple of my $5,000 chairs already. Okay? If you take it outside, and that's not right. That's not an outside exterior garden door. Chairs.
Okay, I brought it in. Is there any other problem?
I don't have any problem. Okay? And now you want to go outside, you can do it outside, but you please close the door because it's cold. I don't want bugs to come inside the house. Am I right or am I wrong?
I don't know. Are you right? So this is usually the shit that goes on in this house because it's just crazy what goes on. Like, you would not understand. And it's really no wonder that just want to get out, because there's gonna be one day it's gonna be like my dad's attitude is good, and then like another day like he becomes all like angry, and then like when he talks it's just stupid, you know. I don't want to deal with it. It really pisses me off. There, of course, you didn't see the whole thing, like what usually goes on. And of course, talking about it really helps, especially where I kind of got my own log where I can just say whatever. But yeah, a lot of things have gone on, and it's hard forgetting about it because I feel like every time he opens his mouth again, it's something to like prove his superiority. We got it. You take care of this house. It's your house. It's your rules. Well, you know, I'm just gonna go back to training. Gotta push through this. And what else that really angers me is that, like, my grandma comes over and she's living with us, but it's like she's supposed to be helping out, and rather than ignore some things that go on in this house, like just what happened, she just tells us to, like, ignore it and then think about it as it never happened, and that doesn't help, you know? You're supposed to get to the root of the problem. My mom is like that too. They both try ignoring and pushing away issues rather than solving the issues. Be right back. In fact, I think, like, my dad does this too. He doesn't get right to the point about things. He kind of just ignores the issues, and then later on, when nobody understands him, he gets angry. And I'm like, dude, you should have just stated what the house rules were in the first place rather than, talking that way. Some people can handle that, but other people like me, we've just been through so much that when somebody really says something like that, we feel like they're out to get us and hurt our feelings. And so me and my dad, we don't have a good relationship at all. It could be good one day and the next day something else goes wrong. And they never communicate with me either, and I never communicate with them, because it's like such a pain communicating with them. Like in the past, communicating with them, they would never understand because they're set in their ways. And a lot of the times I feel like they only care about themselves too. love is one thing, and having your child, that's another thing, because when you just have your child, you can love them, but that really doesn't mean that you love them unconditionally. Like, I talk about eating organic foods, healthy foods, and, it's such a pain for them to get me those kind of foods. If my grades are bad, they're gonna suspend my budget of $25 a week to get the foods. I need to get my job. I need to get my own jobs to support myself. It's not really their fault. And then they can contradict themselves. Like, for once, they would say one thing, and then another time they would say something else. My dad promised me a punching bag right after we finished college applications. Actually, it was kind of my birthday gift, but my mom didn't want to get it for me. After we finished college applications, he never got it for me. And I'm like, when are you ever gonna hold up to your own words rather than always saying one thing and doing another thing? And I feel so hurt every time. Because as children, we're not really the property of parents, but we're actually just another human being that wants to love and wants other people to understand us. It don't matter who you are. The person who actually understands you is the one who's going to have a closer relationship to you than your brother, sister, or even your parents. Because we're all brothers and sisters in this world. It's really unconditional love. I honestly feel that the older generation, Asians, especially the women, they've got like the manipulation factor. They've learned it from a manual or something, because they're so good. Like, they're always trying to, especially Chinese, it's like always trying to take advantage of somebody, especially if you know, like a Chinese woman who does business. She's gonna be nice on the outside, and then she's gonna plot on the way back when she's alone with her family or something. And I just don't agree with the stuff that goes on. The neighbors got the barbecue going. The smoke, I smell it, man. It's really, I don't know if I'm even using the correct word, pungent, repulsive. And you might think I'm a horrible human being just because I blame everything on other people, but right now it's just my time to vent my feelings out that's been stored away forever and ever and ever. Because that hurt child inside of me, I don't know if it's ever gonna be where it feels at peace and it's at union with my soul. And I feel so sad because of that, and it just wants me to work harder and harder to find myself at peace with everybody else and try to find enlightenment. That's the goal, to become an ascetic in life. Because once I reach that state, there's no need for sorrow anymore of why this didn't go right and why that didn't go right. Just love and accept everybody for who they are. and you forget everything, actually you never forget something that happens. You never ever forget something that happens that's kind of important to you in life. You kind of just suppress it, or you move on and learn from that experience, but I don't think you ever forget about it. It's good because I can see where I'm facing and whether I'm twisting too much to the left or to the right, if I'm twisting right or wrong. Sometimes based on our emotional discomfort and our physical discomfort, we learn bad habits and how to daily position ourselves, like sitting or standing, and it becomes a part of us. So practicing a sport like wushu that focuses a lot on posture and emphasis on it, it really, really does many benefits for you. And going into that low stance, it's really going to benefit you in many ways, make your legs stronger. So imagine a real fight, in a real situation, combat situation, and you did a regular stance. Imagine how much easier you would be able to move around like a ninja. We are all ninjas. But I think if you are married to somebody and you've got a good husband, or if a wife and a husband, and it's if the husband has good morals and does the right thing, he can really change a wife personality and everything, because the husband is the one in charge majority of the times, and he influences a lot of how the wife does things and how she thinks, and I've seen it happen. And I'm not going to go really into the specifics in this video, but maybe in the future I'll touch on the subject again. For me, I try not to judge which system is most effective, this and that. I really just think of it as who the practitioner is, and if it doesn't work for the person, or he or she doesn't get good instruction, then you're not going to be able to use the style. But every style really has its roots in everything in the universal martial arts world. The horse stance, the bow stance, in different variations. But for me, I just like Kung Fu. And you know what Kung Fu is? It just means hard work. It has nothing to do with fighting. It means mastery put in through hard work. And so I think the Chinese style of fighting, which is Chinese Kung Fu fighting, is my favorite. And maybe the most effective in my opinion, not judging other martial arts because I don't know how effective the other ones are. But for me, Kung Fu is it, man. It's really the basics that either make you a great martial artist or an average martial artist. It's so important for me to just get this straight punch down, the straight basic wushu kick. Right now, I'm not worried about how wide the stance really is. Just looking at it, it looks alright to me. Just worried about the technique of how I twist my hips, how I rotate everything. So like I was saying, I feel like Asian women, Chinese in particular, I don't know about the other races, but I come from a Chinese family, got the manipulation tactics down to a science, man. Dangerous. And a lot of that is hard to break, even when you come from a family that's bad and then or decent, and then you marry somebody who can teach you the right ways. It's kind of ingrained in you for a while, I guess. Your childhood is really what defines you as an adult, but it doesn't have to define you as an adult or how you are forever, because you have the free will to change. And I want to change. I don't want to be in the Matrix forever. The Matrix is what keeps me in that zombie-like state where I can't think for myself and I can't perceive things on the level that I want to perceive things, which is on an enlightened level where I'm not binded by my five senses. That's really what it all is. And when you get better at it, you can do this kick faster, but beware that one wrong mistake is going to backset you. Not just by a little, but by somewhat some of your practice, because time is precious. 10 repetitions, that's like 30 seconds. And I hope to find supporters out there, my YouTube channel. I don't know if the divine God wants me to. It was like once I asked myself, as Dan McDonald's asked himself too, when he was able to teach. Start teaching people about this stuff, I believe I heard. And he was like 30-some. When I asked, it was like 109 or something. But here I am, I'm 17, and I'm doing this right now, so to share with you my experiences, to let it all out, because we're all like part of this huge grand scheme. We're learning from each other. One day we stop learning. Actually, when you're in an enlightened state, you learn everything like you did when you're 1 year old or something, which does stick with us for a long time. What happened to us when we were young, if we were molested or raped, if we were abused, that sticks with us for a lifetime, I bet. That's why it's important to do the water fasting, the juicing, and the meditation, whatever that gets you flowing, whatever that gets you happy and relieving a lot of your old karma and stress. That's what I would be doing. Whoosh. I want to be like Shudi John, one of those enlightened sages that can just... He just goes on this big piece of rock and practices. And it's like if he dies, he dies. He lives, he lives. He doesn't worry about nothing else but what's happening at the moment. Like my piano teacher always, the one I used to have, he said, if you do something fast and you screw up, that means you gotta slow things down. Until you can do it perfectly, it don't matter how slow you make it, just make the repetition perfect. Because it's all in the mind. You try thinking about doing something correctly, and then your hand goes on the piano and presses a wrong key because it's muscle memory ingrained. So just do it at a slow enough repetition, like Tai Chi slow, not like wushu fast, and get a sense of how your body is moving and how you can make it move better. See, I try not to say things in a negative way, like, oh, this and that sucks, this should move better in this way, or this shouldn't be doing this. I try putting everything and spinning it in a positive light. His words, they affect people so much. And I'm sure all of you who are watching this know that. Words affect people. Okay. See how much battery I got. 19%. And now it's really just busting into the foundations, the forms that can teach me properly. That was much better. Shift. And try to realize, figure out, okay, I'm supposed to be faced this way, so I gotta pivot more when I do the elbow. That's the benefits of recording yourself, because you can see what you're doing wrong and really fix those issues. For me right now, all about how I pivot. Should be this kick, so let's do that kick. So, should practice this one move, pivoting. Before, I truly hated this move, this elbow maneuver. But now I think of it, or now that I do it, it's not that bad anymore because I've done it so many times that it's some I don't like that I became better at and now I do like. It's a Chinese thinking. You don't like something but you keep doing it until you like it because you eventually get good enough that you start enjoying it. Pointing here, and then I point here. That's how I should be thinking of it. Here, then point here. Here, and then point here. Here, and then I point here. Here, and I go back and point here. Here, and I go back and point here. Here, and then I go back and point here. Here, and then I go back and point here. Here, and then I go back and point here. Here, and then I go back and point here. So it's really learning how to pivot, you know? Once I learn that, I will become 10 times better. So like a lot of styles, they tell us to pivot one way and transfer weight, and I'm not sure because like everything is Zen, everything is related. In golf, some people transferred weight and some people left it so the weight was 50-50. I guess I'll just do what feels right, and maybe one day I'll meet that master who can really teach me his style, and maybe I can learn from that and know which way I can do things and then make it my own style. So the waist punch is analogous to the twisting, which is what I'm doing. Twisting with my body. And in some styles of Kung Fu or Qigong, a lot of it is mainly focused on just standing there and twisting like this. And so now I have a better understanding, because what I understood was a lot of the styles, like Shaolin, double crane, and I think it was tiger form, it tells you to just stand in horse stance doing all these bunches of blocks and punches and maneuvers while just standing in horse stance. And I realized that it really builds your foundation. So really I didn't understand that aspect before. Let me check it out. Here I have it. No, that's not it. I don't know why. I think it's this one. Yeah. Has to be. So actually you start with your feet together, and then you do these movements. My feet almost want to lift up when I do this. So I train this while rooting myself so I can maintain a strong rooting. And so many martial artists of the past, great kung fu masters, their strength was attributed by practicing Qi Go. And like many Western strongmen of the past, their strength was not trained by lifting weights, but by tension, like Maxim. Check out the book Muscle Control. You'd really get a surprise, I believe, and you should really enjoy it, like I do. Did that wrong. So right now I think I might end my training. We'll see after I'm done stretching. I don't know if I just pulled a muscle or not, but I felt like a pop my ligament when I was stretching like to the sides. It might just be that I'm not used to stretching so far in that position, but I feel fine. Wow, that's a good stretch. Toes out on the heels, middle splits. Really, that can balance out a lot of these muscle issues just by stretching the correct way, doing the right stretches. Woo! I feel dizzy. really, I just realized doing 3 repetitions, last 3, deep breathing before you do the kick really helps concentrate. And so yeah, I did have right knee pain doing that stretch. I think I realized the cause. Part of it might have been that the ligament behind my right knee was shortened, I guess. And also, I can't always say might, I just gotta be direct. I gotta be direct when I talk. And I'm gonna work on that. Practice some of that iron head. This tree is kind of slender, so I don't want to be falling down when I do a headstand. And so it's also good to practice so not all the weight is entirely on your head, because you can do this longer when you're kind of on all fours and you can stay in that position longer. Of course, there are also benefits to being completely on your head, as all the blood rushes to your skull. There's benefits to that, I think. I say I think right now because all theories always change. And I gotta be more direct when I talk. All theories always change, and so you're never really sure. Maybe one day they'll say that standing on your head isn't good for you. But I go by the ancient sayings, and how the masters achieved mastery in their art, and iron head standing on your head was something that they did do. Okay. Well, I guess that's it for the training today, and it was good. It was good training. Actually, what I should do is to continue doing my foundation work right now, which is, let's see how much battery I have. 27%, 8% remaining. And so, yeah, just a little more of those punches can go a long way. Yes, a couple of minutes was interrupted by the family stuff, which doesn't really bother me anymore, but did earlier. As you said, as you saw, I kept ranting about the stuff that was happening. Just thinking of a lot of things in my past, the fuck ups that happened, or the screw ups, sorry for my language, makes me want to, like, when I do a punch, it's like gonna blow up an entire building or something. So I can't practice in anger. Gotta remember to meditate and be in that state of mind where I'm free. So I did some of those punches. Let me change it to power saver so it doesn't automatically hibernate. We do 10 kicks, or let's do some inside kicks real quickly, smoothly, without interruption, so I can get the full benefits of training. Okay, and here it is. I finished today.